Okay, George, a 1-1 draw against Gateshead. What did you make of that today?
Well, it was a game that at times was a bit scrappy, but again, we can't fault our players, we can't fault their commitment. They competed well. We knew how good Gateshead was going to come here and try to unsettle us, but we didn't let that put us off our game. I thought the first half was a little bit scrappy at times, but again, we came out in the second half, said to the players, we've prepared for this and we need to give the fans something to already shout about, to play our game and not resort to playing the long balls, which we did at times. That was ineffective. From when we started passing, you saw how we ended up being a very good goal, with Rory Dickin playing a simple pass to Jerome for the overlap. It's something we've worked in training tactically to try and get it right. So it's actually good to see that ended up being a goal as well. In the first half, I thought we had the keeper made a great save from a corner to keep them in the game. That made it 1-0. But then there was only one team again that looked like was going to go on and win this game. But again, a fantastic character from our boys. They showed a lot of heart and resilience to come back and to try and salvage a point for our football club today. It
was one of those games where we actually started off really well again, but then we still went a goal down. It was an unfortunate one really for George Fowler, which I knew what he was trying to do, but just didn't quite execute probably the way he would have wanted to.
We've always said to our players, if you don't try and defend that, then you'll be in trouble with the gaffer right here. Because as a last line of defense, we got to put our bodies on the line. And yeah, so I'm really sorry to see that go in, but he's trying to do his job, and that goes with all the defenders in the team. Whoever is there when the cross comes in, got to try and defend that cross. And so I'm glad that he actually tried to defend that, and we'll move on from that really. But these things do happen, and we don't dwell on it. Like I said, I've always said to the boys, we don't dwell on it. We keep moving, because I know how good of a player he is, Josh Fowler. He's been incredible for me, and that doesn't change anything. So I'm actually delighted that he tried to defend that front post for us.
I mean, the first half sort of seemed to fade out a little bit, but then the second half, as we came out all guns blazing, like the intensity seemed to have really been upped. What do you sort of say to them at half time, really?
No, we just told them, listen, we told them how well our boys can play technically. We have our game plan, and if we keep competing on the first phases and then we get the ball, win the ball back on the transition, we can hurt them. And we've nullified this in training. We've looked at that as part of their weaknesses in terms of how we can exploit them, and that's exactly what we did in the second half. These are two teams fighting for their lives to stay in this division, so at times it's going to be a bit scrappy, and we know that. We expected that, given the performance we had on Tuesday night gone. Every time we come out here, we're going to give our best as a group, and our players today gave absolutely everything on the line for this football club.
Again, we mentioned him on Tuesday, but another brilliant performance again from Josh as well. Got himself his first goal for the club. I mean, you must be over the moon for him to make the step up to this level and really show what he can do, because I thought he was outstanding again.
Again, this before I mention Josh, I think the whole team, the whole squad was terrific again today for us. And there's new players coming in, and they're learning the philosophy of Maidstone United at this moment in time, and they're only going to get better with the help of our management team, to make sure we keep educating them, to make sure we keep developing them, and we keep nullifying things behind the scenes to help develop and improve their games in all the areas, the four-corner model, in terms of the tactical, technical side of the game, the psychological side, the physical side, and the social side. So it doesn't just take one, the four has to be together, and that's exactly what we're doing now at Maidstone United Football Club, where we've got our players playing with a certain technicality in them, because we know how good these players are technically, and we do get frustrated as a management team when we don't play, because that's how we train. So when we come out here and it's a bit scrappy, we want to get the ball down and try to play, because that's the way we know best at this moment in time, and that's the way we scored our goal today. At a bit of good play, we've ended up scoring a fantastic goal. But now coming to the question about Josh, since he's coming, he's been fantastic. He keeps growing, and I'm going to say this, there's plenty more to come from him. The longer he's with us, he's going to keep growing in the game. Played in different positions today in terms of us again tactically changing the game, changing our shape to make sure we try and stop Gateshead from having a free flow, especially in the middle of the park, and we did that. He played a right back to start with, and he excelled yet again. This is just to show everyone about the dynamics of the squad at this moment in time, where players have a lot of versatility in the squad that we can utilise.
I mean, the luck with injuries seems to continue, to be honest. I mean, Jerome's obviously come off with another sort of knock on that. Any sort of update on how he is at all?
Not yet. Yes, we got a bit of injuries, but that's expected because of the amount of games we're playing. But that's why we got a squad where we can utilise the players when need be. So we'll assess Jerome and some of the other lads that were terrific again today, battling it for this football club. A lot of them are bruised, but we have a great medical team behind us. They're going to look after the players. We're going to make sure we prepare them right for our next game coming up.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's vital now, recovery more than anything. With a game on Tuesday again, another team down the bottom, Scunthorpe. We went up there and won 2-0. Again, they've sort of upped it a little bit now. They've brought a lot of new players in, so it'll be a completely different side to face compared to the last time we went up there.
Yeah, every team we face is going to give us different problems, and we need to come up with a solution to pass that on to our group of players. We're going to rest up today, and we're going to recover, and then on Monday we're going to talk about Scunthorpe, and then we go from there. But now it's all about our players recovering, and our management team will go to work right away to make sure we can get a bit of data, a bit of analysis on Scunthorpe, and then we pass that on to our group of players.
Well, thanks for your time, George. We'll see you on Tuesday.
Thank you very much.